All right. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. And today it's a very very sad day. And one of my favorite politicians who ever served the people of Nyanza is no more. I've spoken many times about Dalmas Otieno on this channel, and I think uh, many times when it comes to great orators, great debaters from Luo Nyanza. I think he stands out to be one of the best in my generation. Um, I have learned about Dalmas death this morning, and I thought we should share something about him. Today, we honor the life and the legacy of Honorable Dalmas Otieno Anyango here on Africa, a man whose name evokes dignity, principles, and public service. From his early days as a member of parliament for Rongo constituency to his service in the cabinet of President of the late President Moi, Dalmas Otieno stood out not only for the people, but he showed strength. He served as a labor minister, he served in the public service, and and transport. Also, with steady hands and a sharp mind, in, in the storm of Kenyan politics, he was the voice of reason. You could see in his debate how calm he was, thoughtful, unafraid to walk alone when it mattered, and he has walked alone in many occasions as a politician. Having said that, Dalmas Otieno mentored many young young people. He also believed in institution. In all fairness, he was the first Luo man to start a bank by the name Tabidi Finance, and in building the community, empowering his community. His legacy is not just about policy, but about the people he served. To his family and friends, and everyone who worked with him, we say Pole. Kenya mourns a great statesman. We celebrate a life well lived. I believe he died at the age of 80 years. Rest in peace, Baba. You served with honor, and may your soul rest in eternal peace. Let me share a few of his clips, some of the debates that Dalmas had, and for those who never watched this guy debate, I want you to go to YouTube and see his contribution. You know, some of us just talk, but this guy was a great leader. I think Kenya has lost a great leader. He might have been not been given opportunity because of our ethnic based politics, but this gentleman should have served Kenya in for the longest time in various capacities. I think in banking he was one of the best. Imagine Then, I think in the 80s, starting your own bank called Thabiti Finance Company and running it and giving your people loans. Yeah, just like equity. Then this gentleman had already thought of those things, and people don't realize the contributions of people like Dalmas Otieno. For me, I will always honor those who have contributed to the community and those who have uplifted many. Let me share with you a clip of him talking passionately about what he's going to do for his community, and you could see it. You know when a politician means business, and you know when it's just about rhetorics. Thank you guys who are watching. Asante Sana. Make sure that you've subscribed to Africa 24. This is our channel where we break the stories, we tell it as it is without flinching. And thank you, Lillian, for your tribute. If you want to send a tribute to Dalmas Otieno, just log into Africa 24 on YouTube, pass your condolences here. And I think that is the best way we can honor this Kenyan. Let me add.
Kasama jidhi yiero, miel ne chamani, yuag ne chamani, kony chamani, nyaka chieng' kura, go kura ne chamani. To kisego kura, koro en maendeleo mar jopiny. Nyocha chako skul kacha ni Siala Technical Training Institute. Tadwaro billion abich madwa gero Siala gi equipment te gi dormitories te mondo kel Siala kae kabuoro. Adwaro Faculty of Medicine Rongo University ma ane mana chako kake technical school gi pesa na uon. Ngamani kama no sola en nga. Oleng sani modi. Sani adwaro library Rongo University mar $1,600,000. Kingenga madam $1,600,000 sani abia ket library ne nyithi university. Miago samwa wuyen. Adwaro Faculty of Medicine Rongo University mase yudo low mar eka 100 rakwaro kacha. Adwaro 5 billion shillings madwa gero go Faculty of Medicine Rongo University Hospital Teaching and Referral Hospital Rakwaroka. Naroto wacho na teri jitabaka. Utero jitabaka ni ya ui mogero tabaka godoge chuo kaka wana. Kaingi nga manyalo $1 billion abich sani mar Faculty of Medicine Rongo Teaching and Referral Hospital Rakwaro. Keleira kasani. Sama ueni adwaro $1,600,000 magolo tamak kamocha korenya rachkacha market na oboke ka toke kanyura kuro bed margi kain gi ngamadan $1,600,000 mondo barabara ni aringe nywe. Adwaro $1,800,000 madwa golo go tamako papo to kalo nyang'aoka to biro ndego riedo ka to kalo minyenya to donjo ka magambo kige ngamadan biwach na kaini. Omiyo sa campaign mar siasa en sa tugo. Tug kaki hero. Yan jomo kidwar kaki hero. Makmana kiki keth gimo segere turu. Ito kanyo chaluongo Ruto. Ano ng'ama buoga Kenya ka nikech nyithindo gi ang'e te. Ang'e ng'ama nyalo timo ang'o gi ng'ama ok nyal timo ang'o. Kanyo jakoni ni bigarach. Madi ni bichieng' ni yanye ka antie mondo arba duoki. Tugo koda ing'e Kenya machako gi kanye tigigo kanye. An ma Garissa nyaka Busia. Ang'e maendeleo makuro te. Hey.
On on this clip, Dalmas is saying is saying that he knows Kenya better than anybody else, and is counting the projects that is going to bring for his people of Rongo, and is asking any politicians who is challenging him to tell the people where he's going to get the money, because for him is going to get the billions to build a university, the billions to build roads, and things like that. That is the kind of politics that Dalmas introduced in Rongo, and I think there is no any other member of parliament who has served the people of Rongo with the dignity and respect more than Dalmas Otieno. Just give him credit. I think. Thank you, Mura Murungaru Serenori Senior, for your tribute. Lillian, asante sana for your tribute. Amos Wabomba, Mershak, Willie, Young Green, thank you very much. Lillian Maungi, James Odiambo, Mike K. Tuwei, Arthur Leach. Asanteni sana for being part of Africa this evening or this morning. It depends on where you are. If you're watching us from America, it is in the morning. If you're watching us from Kenya, it is late in the afternoon. Asante sana for tuning in on Africa 24. I'll play for you another.
Again, an outsider, and I can tell you over 30 years what it means. Yes. The political parties in this country are ethnic based.
Dalmas Otieno, who is with us in studio. Mheshimiwa, good evening. Thank you for your time tonight on TV 47.
Good evening, Abu.
All right, let's talk of politics and start from what happened today, which is the UDA party endorsing the Deputy President William Ruto as its presidential flag bearer. Let me get your thoughts first.
Well, first, Abu, let me convey my evening greetings to the people of Migori who may be watching this session. As to the meeting that UDA had today, I would say it was an impressive gathering. I've had so many of those for 30 years. Mm-hmm. It was not different from the many others we have always conducted nominating our presidential candidates. Uh-huh. So I think it was well organized. It was an impressive meeting. And for the UDA supporters, they did very well.
What of the content of that endorsement ceremony, which in a nutshell was a delegates conference? Did it go well with you?
As far as the UDA supporters are concerned, uh-huh. It was a good delegates conference. Unless you mean by content all the speeches mm-hmm. that were made in that conference. Mm-hmm. There is a tendency among Kenyan politicians as of now, and this is something I disagree with, that they spend a lot of time talking against each other mm-hmm. instead of talking about what they propose to do for Kenyans. Mm-hmm. I wish that were able to change. Like in most political practices, people spend more time against their opponents. Mm-hmm. So and so is this, so and so is this, so and so is that. And they presume that is what Kenyans want to hear. I feel Kenyans want to hear more of what a particular leader is going to do for them, the ideas he has to change their lives. But you find a major conference like what was going on, uh-huh. Key speakers talk instead against opponents. And in talking against opponents, some of it is not accurate. Uh-huh. I feel that is not right in our political practice.
Fair enough. And when the endorsement of the deputy president as the presidential flag bearer, Dalmas, is it now an issue of two-horse race, as some say, between the deputy president and Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga?
I think we have known all that all along. This is just formalizing the fact that has been with us for some times.
All right, and with that too, and observably looking at the politics of the country, Mheshimiwa, is it a contest of coalitions, which in a nutshell informs also this discussion tonight? Is it that the 2022 race is one of coalitions?
It has been so all this time. Towards the elections, we end up with coalitions, and two primary coalitions, one against the other. When we were doing the Constitution in 2010, I was in the chair then, and I even proposed that we should have a provision in the Constitution that only allows for 3 parties in the country, so that we don't have so many tribally oriented parties who finally realize they cannot win on that basis, and then we start forming coalitions, which then comes into 2 groups, A and B, which if we only had 3 political parties, as I was proposing then in 2010, you would have 2 extremes and the middle would then be able to join either side, and there becomes the winner. I remember very well, it is Anyona who objected to this proposal I made, that would be undemocratic, that we should allow so many parties, at the end of which we know none of those parties would grow to anything. And they have never grown to anything since 2000, when we started multi-party political party.
And one will even be tempted,
1992.
And one will even be tempted to ask, is there really a difference between all these political parties, apart from the names and the colors so visibly?
You have to go back to what I said earlier, that those parties are about personalities. They are not about the people of Kenya. They are not about policies that Kenyans need to be discussed. They are about personalities leading ethnic blocs. And at the end of it, we know 50 or so ethnic blocs in Kenya is not the party we need. We need a party that would take all Kenyans together. So that time I was proposing that if we only allowed in the Constitution 3 political parties, then all Kenyan communities would belong to each of those political parties. Then it would force the leadership of these parties to think in terms of policies and programs that would enhance the lives of Kenyans, that would enhance the values that would benefit Kenyans. And every ethnic group would belong to each of those political parties.
All right. At the UDA Delegates Conference, President Uhuru Kenyatta, as we earlier reported in the news, became partly the subject of discussion. Of course, the split in Uhuruto has been very public. Would it have gotten to this place, Dalmas, in your view? Can it get worse?
It's the same thing I've been talking about. It is the personalities. It is not about Kenyan interests. You see, you think you are practicing politics, but by destroying the image of the opponent. And sometimes you want to destroy that image with lies and not with facts. You know it, but the political practice in the country has allowed it to be so. It doesn't only happen at national level. Even at constituency level, the practice is the same. Destroy your opponent's image.
For this specific case, this is a president still in power, a deputy still in power, constitutionally the primary assistant to the president, but seemingly reading from very different script.
Again, our practice, political practice, is based on personalities. You support personalities, sometimes without even indicating what is good in them for the benefit of Kenyans. You destroy the image of the personalities, not really that those images or those behaviors would matter to Kenyans. You just do it because that is the political practice we have allowed to be part of Kenyan political practice. It also is part of the political practice actually in the rest of Africa. We picked certain patterns that we will focus on the individuals. But then in a multi-ethnic community, where does this come from? When we are electing, say, Abu, and he comes from Garissa or anywhere else, it's as if we are electing the people of Garissa to lead Kenya, which again is wrong.
It's the individual, you suppose.
The individual and the policy package that individual feels committed to for the benefit of Kenyans. But it is as if you are electing Wambua, it's as if the government will be a Kamba government. If you are electing a Wanyama, it is as if the government would be a Luya government. No, it will never be a Luya government. It should be Wanyama's government or Wambua's government for the benefit of Kenyans in a party where so many other Kenyans are members, in a party where there are clear political practices, political policies that will have to be adhered to. So the way we are doing politics in Kenya as of now, it means parties will emerge and die after every election.
And talking of parties, you are a Jubilee Party member, yes. A party that has rebranded 3 weeks ago. The president still remaining its head, a party that is in power, with some still questioning whether it's as vibrant as it was or whether it is alive. As a member of that party, you're confident it is alive, is it?
It is alive, and it has policies which I approve of. It has programs I believe in. It has a leadership which I know mean well for the Republic of Kenya.
And when you say I'm going for the governor's seat on Jubilee ticket and our presidential candidate is Raila Odinga, we are all in Azimio, end of quote. Presumably, you're going for the gubernatorial post in Migori County, a county perceived, and we could be wrong in this assumption, as an ODM stronghold region county. You're taking Jubilee to Migori.
Yes. The mistake remains that political parties are identified with the personalities that are members in that political party, and then it is assumed that certain areas.
Well, that was Dalmas Otieno. You
to
had
that political party, not because of the policies, but because of the leadership of that party. Now, there begins the mistake from day one. Why don't you ask me why ODM membership is not strong enough in the Mount Kenya region? Why ODM membership is not strong enough in the eastern region or northeastern region? We should stop thinking of ODM as a Luo affair and think of ODM as a national party. That is the direction it should go.
A national party that among its strongholds is Migori.
Yes. Now, then what gets wrong with that? Why do you then continue with the perception that if it is a national party with a strong membership from Migori, then nobody else should stand in with the ticket of any other party? What's wrong with standing with the ticket of any other party?
I suppose nothing, and it was but a question I was asking. Nonetheless, you are vying for the top seat in that Migori County.
Yes.
What do you want as Dalmas Otieno to achieve as the governor of Migori County?
Migori is a multi-ethnic county. The large ethnic bloc is Luo. Then you have a Kuria bloc with 2 constituencies. Then within the other 6 constituencies, we do have Maragolis in that group. Then we have the Suba also in some of the constituencies. Then we have the immigrant communities of Somalis, of Kikuyus, of Kisis, and other business communities. So we pride ourselves as a multi-ethnic bloc constituency. In fact, we are one constituency in Nyanza where we don't belong to one ethnic group. We may have majority Luos, but we also have a large number of the Kuria, a large number of the Maragolis, a large number of the Suba, and a large number of the other communities. So that being what we are, we become like a reflection of Kenya at present. So now you can ask your question after you see that background.
Which still is, what do you want to achieve for the people of Migori who are watching TV 47 tonight, wondering who I should vote for, why should they vote for you?
The focus, and that explains why I picked the Jubilee ticket, is the development of the county. To develop Migori as a county, a number of things have to be done, and I have in mind a number of development projects that will help that county be different and be beneficial to the inhabitants of that county. First of all, agricultural development. In Migori, we have to start from scratch, enhance agricultural production through agro-processing industries, which we believe we can manage. For instance, sugar is one of those industries which we are processing. I want it more efficient. I want it more productive. I want it more reliable and more useful to the landowners whose land we use to grow cane. We want to be able to start maize processing industries. As of now, imagine the maize is taken from Migori. The maize is then sent to Eldoret. Then it is ground and shifted and converted into jogo. You may be familiar with the jogo product. Then that jogo maize meal is brought back to Nyanza to be consumed by our people. What has stopped at having that very factory that is located in Eldoret from being established in our place to use our maize? The next is like viazi, our own potatoes. For now, the potatoes are taken from our area, brought to Nairobi industrial area, made into crisps, which are then packed and brought back to be consumed by our people in Nyanza. We are looking to the opportunity of that very factory that is located in Nairobi being located in our area, and our own produce is processed and leaves us for final consumption elsewhere out of our place.
Industries in a nutshell.
Agro-industries in our nuts in that manner. Let me explain further. Once we are able to establish these agro-industries, we will be able to identify our people with the land and the productive capacity to use our land to produce the raw materials to be taken to that factory at best prices before the final product is sold to the rest of the country and even exported to other countries in Africa, in Europe, or anywhere else. Now, on that basis, the challenge we have is resource allocation for purposes of establishing these productive units that would process products that we are able to make from our place.
Fair enough, and because of the interest of time, perhaps one last question, Mheshimiwa. You are in Jubilee, which is in Azimio la Umoja movement, a movement that is bringing together political parties, whose presidential candidate as endorsed is Raila Odinga, who will be making his 5th stab at the presidency. How close or far, in your view, is he this time from clinching that seat?
I listened very keenly when he made his statement after we approved him as our presidential candidate. One key thing that I can mention here is that he committed himself to 35% of the national revenues being given to the counties. 35% is relatively high, but if he achieves that, and Raila is a person whom, if he says, I will do, he actually does. If 35% goes to the counties, and we ensure that the counties are efficient in the use of the resources given to them, that would be a major, major, major change in our political practice in terms of managing development projects in this country.
Yes, viewers, you listen to Dalmas Otieno. That was a great leader. I hope you took some notes when he was asked about the political parties in Kenya. He said that he had proposed about uh, three political parties, or even two, and this is how he expounded his argument. He said that all these other political parties, at the end of the day, they end up forming a coalition with major political parties, and they become one and to vie for the presidency. So we have got more than 200 political parties in Kenya. The major ones, maybe ODM, Wiper, and UDA, they end up forming coalitions with other political parties uh, to ascend to power. So that makes a lot of sense. Kenya needs to have two, three political parties that are not ethnic based, and that is the only reason uh, why somebody who is from the Ogiek community can ascend to power. But if you have this ethnic based political movements, then the smaller tribes with small political parties will only end up as a coalition. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. This has been a special edition by Africa 24 on the stories that make the headlines in Kenya. And today we featured Dalmas Otieno, who passed on a few hours ago in his residence in Kilelesha, Nairobi. And may his soul rest in eternal peace. Thanks for those who have been sending tributes here on Africa. Thank you, Dixon Onyango. Thank you, Kenneth Matiba. Thank you, Charles Darwin. Thank you, Cohen Isanyo Okiwit. And thank you, David Olo. Thank you, Afande Juma, Wabomba Mashak, Willie, Yangren. Asanteni sana for tuning in. This is a very sad moment. You had Dalma speak, and that's why most of the time I say that some of these leaders are not given the right opportunities and the right chance. This guy was a presidential material, and had he been given a chance to lead, to be the governor for Migori, for instance, I think Migori would have been a different place from the beginning when we started this. Uh, when we started devolution. So for me, I think the people of Migori have lost a great son. The people of Kenya have lost somebody who would have taken them to the next level. Thank you, Alex Ogega, for your tribute to the late Dalmas Otieno. And for those who have not subscribed to this channel, make a point of going to our YouTube page and subscribe to Africa 24. If you're watching us from Mtembei platform, our sister station, Mtembei YouTube, go to YouTube and subscribe on Africa 24 so that we could be sharing some of your tributes here on Africa pass your message. Tell us what you remember about Dalmas Otieno. Tell us what we are omitting about Dalmas Otieno. Tell us something special that you know about Dalmas Otieno. One thing I know is that there are many musicians who actually sang about Dalmas. One of these days.
Aye, je kuda jango, kuda ora nyambata, uke usakwa, utinu gudubari boyo, udie kwa warga tono, warga tela, utinu kombe ni dala umori waretara ganda kuda ora, kombe minu wango kanyango, komba uchien tek, kiriwe paja chien wango tek, manota biti kinu wango kanyango, kom kanu mar sop Nyanza kanyango, Mubunge Barongo kanyango, Wasiri mar Kenya kanyango, Kidwaro chief bende miluongo nariyo kanyango, kom mar riwruok mar mine marongo kanyango.
Well, let us end it on that special note of that Luo musician praising Dalmas Otieno, saying that everything that you want, you will always find it in Dalmas Otieno's family. If you want the chairman of Kano, it is Dalmas Otieno. If you want Thabiti Finance Company, it is Dalmas Otieno. That was the first Luo bank, or the first bank in Luo Nyanza, started by Dalmas Otieno, and it gave loans to many people from Rongo. Some, most of them bought matatus. Then the famous matatus in Rongo that were plying between Rongo and Kisumu. It is courtesy of Thabiti Finance Company, which was started by Dalmas Otieno. Now, let me end on that note, and keep on sending your tributes here on Africa 24. We will update you with more information as they come from the family of the late Dalmas Otieno. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you very much.